Peace through power, Instructor X of the UEP Newton Gun Club. So we're going to visit a ongoing and still popular debate. When, as an instructor, would you tell your students that they are ready to carry with a live round in the chamber? But first, before we get into my analysis of this debate, let me throw a shout out to one of my comrades, Greg Lyles from Pontiac, Michigan. Hope everything is well up that way. Greg and I have been friends since we were 18 years old. We met at Fort Lee, in Petersburg, Virginia, and we've been comrades and friends ever since. Love you, man. So, back to the hot topic. When would you instruct a new student that they're ready to carry a live round in the chamber? 90% of instructors are going to tell you if you're not carrying with a live round in the chamber, you're putting your life in jeopardy. You're putting your life in danger. It's like being in a car and not wearing a seatbelt. I particularly don't like that analogy because sometimes if you're in an accident, the seatbelt can actually hinder you from getting out of the car in a timely manner. So I don't like that particular analogy, but I understand what they're saying. For me, it's going to come when that student is comfortable, when that student has enough training to feel that they're ready to carry with them around in a live chamber. Because whether you believe it or not, we all understand that there are negligent discharges, and a lot of that is due to a lack of training. So why would you want to put a new gun owner who has minimal training or no training at all, why would you want to put them in a scenario where they have a live round in the chamber? And I understand, to rack the slide takes time. And sometimes in an emergency situation where you have to defend yourself, you may not have that extra second or that extra half second. But let's look at the other side of that. Let's look at, we have a new gun owner. Let's go with someone who is very youthful, early 20s, 21, 22, 23, and this is their first firearm. Now we understand that a lot of people, just because they buy a firearm doesn't automatically make them safe. They have to go through some process of training, getting to understand the mechanisms of that firearm, how that firearm works. So it takes training with that. And if you're just going to send someone out, send a student out on their first day of purchasing a firearm and tell them, go ahead and rack the slide and put one in the chamber, it is my thought process that you are actually putting that person in danger. Because we understand, even holstering a weapon, sometimes you can get clothing into the trigger guard or anything that can discharge that firearm. For ladies that have their firearm in their purse, which a lot of instructors don't suggest that, but some ladies carry with their firearms in their purse, and they're digging around in their purse, and they hit the trigger, and you have a negligent discharge. So it's a hot debate, and it's very understandable. But for me, for you to carry with a live round and for me to be comfortable with you, I have to know that you know what you are doing. We all know about the SIG P320s, man. Negligent discharges all the time when holstering the firearms. So why would you want to put a new gun owner in that situation? Somebody who's buying their firearm for the very first time, they have no or minimal training, and you tell them to rack the slide and put a round in the chamber. To me, it doesn't make sense. I believe and I train that when you are comfortable, when you feel you've had enough training, Then you go ahead and carry with one in the chamber. Then you are ready to carry with the live round. But people get to those stages in different ways, and people get comfortable in different time periods. So just to say that now that you own a firearm, go ahead and put a live round in the chamber is not necessarily working for everybody. We know about negligent discharges. So let me give you an example of what I'm saying. So here we have my Glock 43. Of course, you see it's empty. Never would have a live round. So most of us carry appendix carry because it's hot right now. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. I also like to carry at my 3 o'clock. And sometimes I cross carry at 9 o'clock. It's according to you. But when you're putting that firearm into your magazine, you see this trigger here? Sometimes it can get caught up on your clothing and it can actually pull the trigger. Some of us have these firearms that it doesn't actually take a lot of weight pull to actually pull the trigger. Had my hand in front of the gun, but we've already cleared it, so don't be like me. When you slam that into that trigger well, that trigger guard, and that firearm locks into place, if you have a t-shirt in there or some type of clothing, it can make that firearm discharge. So what I'm saying is just be very careful and be attentive to your student, to the way that they learn, to the way that they absorb information. A lot of people learn from observation and participation. But don't try to make everybody carry with the round in the chamber just because it's a popular phrase in the gun community. You carry with a live round when you're comfortable, when you've had the training, and when you think that you are ready to carry hot. So again, Instructor X of the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, just having an open dialogue, fam. So if anybody's in disagreement with what I'm saying, sure, leave it in the comments. Tell us your opinion. Give us your opinion on how you think a new gun owner should carry their firearm. We're not talking about experienced gun owners. We're basically talking about new gun owners, which we get millions every year. Does everybody need to carry with a live round in the chamber? And when do you get to the point where you feel comfortable with carrying with one in the chamber? So check out our new gear, Train or Die. Hope you can see it. I'll leave the links in the comments where you can get this shirt if you like it. And our motto is, if you're not training, you're going to die. Hopefully that's not the case. Instructor X of the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, salute.